All right, guys, welcome back to Mod and Pop Thrift. My name's Tom. I'm a full-time eBay reseller, and I'm a stay-at-home dad for my 6 kids. And this is where I have my inventory that includes stuff like this. This from the movie Aliens. This is called a face hugger. And I paid, I want to say, I was trying to think, I think I paid $4.99 or $5.99 for it. And it's been a while. I wouldn't be surprised if it's been almost a year. I got it at Goodwill, Alien, from 2005, and it finally did sell for $24.99 plus shipping. I'm going to probably put it in a box. Most of the time I put plushes in a bag, but this has all these frail little things, and it's posable, and I don't want something to get bent and weird. So that's pretty good profit. It just took longer to sell than I expected it to. And way down here we have a Nike hoodie. What makes this one worth picking up is this silvery looking tag that denotes that it's from like 98 to 2005 or something. It's called Y2K, gray or silver tag, and this just has a simple small embroider. And this is a good size, large, just a pretty simple hoodie. But I mean, if you went to Kohl's to buy this, it would be marked $69, and the I mean, you probably get it on sale for $50, but they bought mine for $27, free shipping. And I got this at a garage sale with another one that was in there, and I think I paid $2 or $3 a piece for them. There's something about the way that this lip is and the way these handles are. There's a company called Salad Master that makes stainless steel, like heavy. I'm not sure what T304 designates, but T304, it means it's high quality stainless steel. And I found this for $4.99, and it's the only item today that's going to be a pain in the butt to ship, but it's an egg, some kind of egg separator cooker thing, and obviously can be used as a skillet. So I paid $5 and it sold for $66, and I mean, it'll probably cost me almost $20 to ship, but I'm still making some pretty good profit. And while it's been listed for a while, it you know, you expect this kind of stuff. I said in the last video, you expect kitchen stuff to sell this time of year. People are always looking for whatever reason, waiting until Q4 to buy cooking stuff. And so I don't know if it's going to be a present or if they're planning to use it to make Christmas dinner, but this stuff sells this time of year, so $4 into 66, and I bet I make $33 profit. And this Tupper Toy ball, I sold one of these like 3-4 weeks ago, and I sold one today because I picked it up for $1.50 and it sold for $20. These sell, and I don't exactly understand why. Maybe because people want to have them for their kids, or maybe because they're nostalgic collectible things, but every time I find one, even if it doesn't have all the pieces it sells, this one I listed for $20 free shipping, and it sold immediately. And it'll probably cost me $6 or $7 to ship, and it cost me $1.50, and I'll probably pay $3 in fees. So maybe I'll make $9 on my $1.50 investment, but that's pretty good. I paid $4 for these that first weekend in October. They're just hard knuckle motorcycle gloves. This brand seemed to comp out in a way like that was a good sell-through rate. And these sold for $22, but they couldn't be easier to mess with. You just throw them in a poly mailer and they show up. Paid $5 for a Faberware electric skillet and frying pan. And there's a screw inside here that goes in there, and then this cap comes off so you can take it off really easy and replace it. I decided this frying pan did better by parts than trying to sell the whole thing, because this fragile handle breaks is why this handle sold for $15. And I sold a bunch of the parts like for between $10 and $25. And so paying $5 for that to get 6 or 7 listings is well worth doing. Paid $3 for these Converse with the heart on the side of them. There's some kind of collaboration with another company, and they should have sold for a lot more than $19 free shipping, but they just did not clean up the way that I hoped they would, and the heels were worn out. I thought when I got them, they were really, really dirty, and I thought paying $3 for them, I'd be able to clean them up, and I just wasn't impressed with how they cleaned up, and I almost didn't even list them. And then I was like, I'll just list them cheap and make my money back and a little bit more and have a sale go through, because sales beget sales. And so if you sell stuff cheap, then it'll help raise your store up in the algorithm and things sell when you're selling stuff. Next is this San Francisco 49ers.
And did I catch a niner in there?
Thermafit. I paid $4 for it at a garage sale. Thermafit tends to do really, really well. And so this sold for $40 in just a couple of weeks. Pretty good find. Pretty good piece. Nike, hoodies, NFL, teams, even teams that suck do okay. And then Nike Thermafit is a good pickup. Why did the soldier have to flush the toilet?
Because it was his duty.
Call of Duty. I paid $15, or I paid $20 for a box with 27 video games in it. These sold for $15, free shipping. Call of Duty is not normally worth picking up, but I was buying a bulk quantity, so they're worth listing in this small lot. And that again was the first week of October, so that's how long they've been listed. And those, I mean, I would not pick these up probably for any price. Like, I wouldn't pay $3 for this lot and then list it for $15 free shipping. I wouldn't pay probably $1. I might pay $1 to get all of them. But anyway, I only bought them because they were in that box, and I was like, there's 27 games. Would you take $20 for them? Yep. Okay. So then they're barely Call of Duty. I mean, I'm sure somebody could point out a Call of Duty that's worth some money. All right, so I did a deep dive on this, and apart from like some bundled collections or a console that is paired with a Call of Duty game, there are no titles that seem to be worth more than like $20, $25. Like the PS5 stuff is retail, whatever a game is in price charting, but I can't find a game that is worth like a PS2, Xbox 360, PS3, you know, none of those seem to be worth anything. It's crazy. I've like GameCube has an NCAA 2K. Like most of the 2K basketball games aren't worth anything, but there's a GameCube one that's worth a fortune. Or like the NCAA football 14 is coming down in value, but still has significantly better value than most of that series. Call of Duty, correct me if I'm wrong, I cannot find a Call of Duty game that would be worth picking up for $10 because you think you can make 4 times your money. Video game and movie promotion t-shirts do reasonably well. This one isn't huge, but Ratchet and Clank from a cinema, so that means it's from the Ratchet and Clank movie, not a video game. Also, the in theaters makes a difference to knowing that it's the movie, not the video game. But those do pretty well. I sold a Toy Story 3 one that was similar. It just had Buzz and Woody and a big 3 and then said a cinema on the side. I sold it for like $85 once. So like movie tie-in stuff, t-shirts can do well. Video game t-shirts, tie-in, that are like to a specific time. We're going to pull a shirt in a couple minutes that it's not all video game shirts are worth something, but like promotional is the difference between the Mario shirt that we sold for $10 and this one that sold for 20 plus shipping. These were a grab bag thing, and you guys saw me pick them up in a video at some point in the last couple weeks. So I wouldn't have paid more than like $2.99. And I knew for just in my knower that this scar was from the original release of the movie. Like this is from '94. So then I assumed that these were also, and I was right. And there's a very similar McDonald's toy to this, but it's smaller and, you know, lighter plastic. It's a McDonald's toy. Anyway, I picked these up in a grab bag with other stuff, and they sold in a couple of weeks for $21 free shipping. So I picked up 5 or 6 tapes at Goodwill for $1 a piece the other day. I did not anticipate this to be the second best one. Sold for $15. The rest I listed for like 10 or 11 free shipping, and then there was one that was $50 free shipping. But Depeche Mode, Music for the Masses, sold for $15 in about a week. This is a Metal Snap ladies. It's kind of a small size, like physically holding it. It might be a ladies medium. Anyway, I don't remember where it came from. I would not have spent very much on it. Harley Davidson, just like kind of a dressier long sleeve shirt, women's. And the reason I wouldn't spend very much on this, if this was a men's shirt and it was metal snaps, canvas, 2XL, Harley Davidson with an emblem and maybe something on the back, it could be $35, $40 shirt. This is $12 free shipping. And I took an offer to get the $12 free shipping. I think I had it listed for $14.99 free shipping. Somebody didn't even want to pay that. So watch out. Harley stuff, not everything is good. I'm sure I got this cheap. It's been around forever, but it's been ended and sold similar, so I probably couldn't even tell you how long I had it. But it sold $12 free shipping. I'll probably end up with $5, $4 in my pocket. And then this is the Mario shirt that sold for $10 free plus shipping. And it's a men's large, but this isn't a promotional. This is just a go to Walmart and buy a t-shirt. And so it's not as collectible, but if it was a promo for a Mario movie, which they've only made 2 of, and one was very recent and one was terrible and very old. So probably the John Leguizamo as Luigi movie, if they made promo shirts for that. I'll put up a comp if there can be one found, but those would be worth a fortune. And then a newer, like the Mario movie that just came out, would not be worth a ton yet, but well, it would be, it's something I would keep an eye out for. But this is not a promotional, like that Ratchet and Clank was a promo shirt. The Toy Story shirt was promoting the movie in pre-release of the movie. Sometimes you'll see them that like Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, Family Video around here would have had shirts that said released on DVD this day. Things that are much more limited run can do okay. These are a dime a dozen. I think like Judah outgrew this shirt and Levi had one just like it, so didn't need this one, and it was going to get donated, but we decided to list it for $9 free plus shipping instead. But that's everything that sold today. It's probably going to be a pretty short video if I leave it here, so let's go see what do we get into next. All right, Sunday, little afternoon. Welcome to the winter wonderland that is Peoria. We got the lights and stuff up on the house, and I have a handful of orders to pull. I got you on a tripod. Let's see how you guys like that. I have both hands. I can talk with my hands, and I'm not shaky camming you, so let's see how you like that. This is a Bitty Baby from the Pleasant Company, which is American Girl doll pre-Mattel. And you don't see African American ones very often. And I say that like I would just call this a black baby, but generally speaking, if you're searching for these, you do AA for African American. And this is a sleepy-eyed doll. And we picked this up for $1.99, maybe $2.99. And it sold twice. It sold once for $21 on an offer, and that person canceled because they ordered by accident. And then it sold for full price a couple days later. So these sell pretty quickly. They do pretty well. I mean, they're not like the regular American Girl dolls that can sell for $75, $100, or $175, depending on what you've got. But Bitty Babies, anything that's Pleasant Company is going to do okay. For $3 into 24, that's worth doing. Okay, so you guys saw me pick this up for $1. It's a Rush cassette. Really nice condition. Not a lot of Rush cassettes I do pretty well on. This one only sold for $11.50 free shipping. And while that feels like a lot to pay for a cassette, there's not a lot of profit in that because it's going to cost me $4.50 to ship. And I paid $1 for it to put it at $5.50. And then probably $2 puts me at $7.50 out of 11. I mean, I'm making like $3.50. Something like that. I don't know. I didn't do the math, and I don't remember if it was $11 or $11.99. But anyway, $3-4 on my dollar investment. I would hope to do better than that, especially on a Rush cassette. I would have thought it would be worth selling by itself, but normally that kind of pricing, I would just lot it together with other stuff. Embroidered shirts, like men's hunting shirts, do pretty well. guide series by Gander Mountain is not great. I remember, and they're still over there. I picked up 3 or 4 of these all at the same time, and I want to say it was at Helping Hands, and they were all $2.50 a piece. And this sold. I'll put up the date for when it was listed. It's been listed a long time. This sold for $24.99 free shipping, which, I mean, that's a good price for this shirt. If I paid $2.50 for it, I bet I make $12 or $15 on my $2.50 investment. Ecobee. I pick up anytime I see one of these smart home thermostats, I pick it up and check it out. This one I knew because we had an Ecobee in the house when we first moved in, and it was on the fritz, and I was trying to figure out replacing it exactly, and it was crazy expensive, and I didn't like it well enough to do that. Spend that kind of money. And then I found them at garage sales a handful of times. So when I saw this at a garage Helping Hands a couple of days ago for $6.50, I just opened the box. I'm like, there's enough parts in there that I can make $6.50 back for sure. I'm going to buy it and figure out what it is. And it turns out it was totally complete and maybe even unused. Like the touchscreen still had the like tear off thing. I'm going to call it used unless it's sealed. And there were some like stickers missing. So it probably was installed, but not for very long because it's not very old. But anyway, smart home thermostats, sealed ones do really, really ridiculously well. Even used ones can sometimes do well. The Google Nest isn't as good as the Ecobee, and there's comp them if you're going to spend more than $10. But generally speaking, they're worth at least picking up to comp. So this, I would not generally mess with a Coca-Cola plastic, like it's Tiffany style leaded glass plastic junk. But I was out on a day where I wasn't doing super well, and this was $3, and I'm like, you know what? I actually went back to the car without it and comped it, and then I was like, I'm gonna come back and get that. And so I did, and it sold. It's probably been 6 months or so, but it sold for $42 plus shipping. Buyers all in at $70. And it's only going from Peoria to Kentucky. I was looking, is it going to Hawaii or something? Buyers all in at $70. And it's won't be super hard to pack. Maybe this would be the best way to pack it. I don't know if there's a better way than that. But this isn't as likely to break as if it was leaded glass. But I don't normally mess with Coke collectibles or cheap junk. The lamps, normally the lamps I do are mid-century modern or some kind of weird industrial thing. But this, for $3 on a day where I wasn't finding much to buy, so I comped it. I'm quite surprised that this sold. And this, like, let me preach about how it would be important to make less money. I would not have priced this where the buyer was all in at $70. I feel like that's probably why it took 6 months to sell. The comps were good. The sell-through rate was good on it, but it sold plus shipping, and the buyer paid like $25 for shipping. And I would rather have marked this $60 free shipping, and I bet I would have come out about even, because where they pay $25, I probably pay $11, $15 tops, and that $10 in savings, it just gets eaten by UPS, or it doesn't save the buyer any money, and it doesn't make me any money. So I would rather just let the buyer buy it. Like, it's almost like passing my discount on to the buyer, except I'm doing it myself. I'm doing it in my through my strategy, because I'm not gonna make sure this goes in the right size box and weigh and measure and put in the dimensions on every listing. So if I were to do that, then passing on to the buyer would make sense. But I list almost all of my t-shirts at 4 ounces when I was listing them plus shipping. And then that way the person pays the shipping and then doesn't pay all of the shipping essentially. But so then when they change you can move your discount over to your buyer, then I was like, well, I can't do that, or I'd have to go through and weigh and measure every listing because I intentionally framed some of these plus shipping items to be discounted shipping essentially. And so you guys see my listings, my sales. I do free shipping most of the time because this I haven't run the thing yet. It's going to cost me $15 to ship, either through FedEx or UPS ground, depending on which is closer. And so like being able to just look at this and say, I can get that to most places in the country because I'm in the middle of the country for $15, then I can control what the end price is for my user. Whereas if I put it out as USPS ground advantage with these dimensions and calculated shipping, and then UPS raises their price again, then that raises my price and I can't control that. But I can control for the end price. And when UPS raises their prices, that affect, like if they raise the price on the customer standing at the counter 15%, maybe our price goes up 3, 4, 5%. So like it doesn't, you're allowing I don't want to allow UPS or USPS to control what my customer has to pay for an item. Like this is worth $60 and it didn't sell because I was asking $70 because it was plus shipping. My dog's really mad at something. So you guys got saved from my ranting by the dog. One of the kids' friends showed up and she just freaked out. Anyway, Caleb bought these. And when I say Caleb bought them, he found them at a yard sale, said, Dad, do you think these would be worth reselling? And then I sent him with the money to the register. I don't make the kids buy the stuff that I'm going to resell, but I let them have the wins, you know? So these were $1 a piece. So we're in them for $4 and they sold for $30. Free shipping, and I'll just ship them like that and they'll be pretty darn easy to deal with. All right, so pretend this says USC on it because I pulled the wrong one. I found these headbands for, I think they were taped together and they were like $1.99, so they were like $1 a piece. It's been a while, but they are new old stock. They've got that old, if you remember, the touch, the feel of cotton. Made in the U.S., just headbands, sweatbands, and they've been listed a long time. This one sold for $17.99 plus shipping, which feels like quite a bit, but if you're going to USC and wanting to look cool, you probably have enough money to spend $17.99. I bought this for $1.99. It's John Lennon coffee mug, and I had it listed for $17.99, which felt like not enough, and somebody sent me a $15.99 offer and I accepted it. So I don't know how much money I'm going to make on that because it's going to be over £1 priority, and so I'll put it in a 9x9x9 box and wrap it in paper, and then it'll be like almost £2. Probably cost me $8 or $9 to ship, plus the $2 I spent on it. Let's call that 11, and 3 in fees puts me at 14. I'm at like $2 profit on that thing. It's a cool thing and I'm glad I picked it up, but I'm not making money. Vintage Scooby-Doo, and this says O2. I'm going to show you that real hard. SO2 in parentheses. That is a manufacturing date, and if you're not used to looking at it, you'll see it on lots of stuff. Plush, the printed collar t-shirts, evidently wrapping paper from 2002. So this is vintage, but it has that designation. If you see that, that is generally the year something was made. And I paid 99 cents for this at Goodwill, and I'm like, vintage Scooby-Doo does well. This sold for 11 plus shipping. It's long. It's going to be obnoxious to try to ship a little bit. 2.5 feet. So that's 30 inches. And then I can just, like, if I had a tube to send it in, but I'll probably just end up making a cardboard triangle or maybe a cardboard tube that's like 4x4 by 30. That's where we're at so far. So this is something where it's different about my thoughts on, and I like my policy on free shipping. I don't policy on anything. I just like go by my gut all the time. Something like this, I did plus shipping because I sold it so cheap. I sold it for $9.99. I paid $2 for it. I did not realize that it had holes in it until I took the pictures and I disclosed the pictures. And I'm like, I just want this to sell cheap to somebody. And so I marked it as low as I could, respectively mark it, and then sold it for, and then did plus shipping as low as I was comfortable marking it plus shipping. So that's sometimes when I will do shipping, is I'm like, this is kind of worthless. And if I sell it for what I think it's worth, then I'll lose money on the shipping. So I'm going to mark it as low as I'm comfortable marking it and then put free shipping on it rather than throwing this away, because somebody wants this, somebody will wear it. Obviously, I mean, it sold in a couple of weeks. It's a vintage brand, 100% wool, old cardigan vest. Sweater vest cardigan. Very fashionable at the moment. Very cottagecore, Taylor Swift chic, but it's not in good enough condition to feel like I needed to, like I could mark it up to $25 free shipping. Of course, I could have just as easily done $19.25 free shipping, and it would have been even money, exactly the same thing. I paid $2 for this guy at a garage sale, Spoon River Drive, so the first weekend in October last year, not like 2 months ago, but like 14 months ago. He's vintage from 1994, JCPenney's. He was $18.50, and I had him listed for a long time, and nobody cared because the Bears sucked. And now the Bears don't suck anymore. They beat the Eagles. That was crazy. That was a fun game to watch. But they, this is with the tag 1994. And I think he sold for 14 plus shipping, buyers all in at 24. So cool piece. It's a truism that you can count on, but like, I don't understand. Was this person not a fan of the Bears for the last 2 years and wanted a stocking earlier this year? Like, obviously earlier this year, like it's the Christmas season, but like, I don't know, when a celebrity dies, or when a sports team is doing really well, you can count on their stuff to sell. Were you not a Betty White fan before she died? Why does stuff peak when someone dies? Why does stuff peak? Why does your sports team peak the merchandise when they're doing well? Like, I wear Bulls stuff all the time, and they're terrible. And if they started winning a bunch of games, I already have the stuff to wear to support my team. I wear it anyway. I don't understand the fair weather fan who's gonna buy this thing because they're doing well. And maybe somebody's redoing their, I mean, you don't know that that's what this particular thing is, but it is true that when a team is doing particularly well, specifically like Sunday afternoon, you will sell more sports stuff. If you have NFL stuff, you'll sell more on Sunday afternoons after the teams win, and you'll sell the teams that are winning and not the teams that are losing. It baffles me, but it needs to make dollars. It doesn't need to make sense. This filter is in the house because it just got ended and sold similar. Kind of. I bought 3-4 of them at Walmart on the clearance aisle for $2 a piece. There were 2 different SKUs, and I got 3 of one and 2 of the other, and all of them had sold except for this one, and it wasn't listed anymore. So I don't know if I had a quantity problem or what, but I was going through a box and I was like, why isn't that sold? All those other ones sold really quick. And I looked it up and it wasn't still listed. So it got listed, it got sold in a day. Clearance filters like that are something you can do really well with, because people always need replacement filters, and if you can buy them super cheap, normally if it's clearance at the store, then it's something they're not going to carry anymore, so it's harder to get. So like, while the supply is way down and you can get it cheaper at Walmart because it's on clearance, the demand is probably reasonably similar, but the availability is, the supply side is way down and the demand side is level, and so the price can be more a lot of times. So if I see filters and stuff at thrift stores and on clearance racks, I generally will comp them, because sometimes you can do really, really well. I didn't do super well on these, but 6 of them I made like $10, $12 a piece on. So at $2.50 a piece, but I made some pretty good money on a quick investment, and they have barcodes, so scanning them and figuring out what the comps were was pretty easy. I'm not going to go grab that pizzazz and try to hold it up here. But the pizzazz, you guys saw me do a short where I picked up a pizzazz for $5 and a Hello Kitty toy for $5. Something like it was, one of them was 6 and one of them was 4. I think maybe this was $6. I spent $10. This sold for 40 plus shipping. Cool piece. I have one. I love it. We got it as a wedding present, which would have been 2009. And we still use it at least once a week and always have. So they're cool to have if you've got room for it. We don't have an air fryer because we don't have room for it because we have this, and it could probably replace the air fryer, but it does a whole pizza. It does a whole bag of chicken nuggets or tater tots or reheating pizza, reheating fried chicken. I like it quite a bit. And as it's big, it doesn't, like, you don't have to do like just my chicken nuggets the way you would in an air fryer for my huge family. Anyway, it works really well. And to buy a new one, they're like $80 or $90 at Walmart now. So when I find them, or the pans for them, I buy them and sell them because they are too expensive at the store, and the used ones last forever, and you can pick them up for, I bought one already this year for $3 at a garage sale, and I bought this one for $6 at Goodwill, and they both sold over $40 plus shipping. And so pizzazz is a bolo. All right, and I can't find these books right this minute, but again, they're big and weird to try to hold up here. I bought these at a garage sale for $2. They sold for $40 in probably 5-6 weeks. $40, free shipping. Now they're going to go media mail, but they're going to be a little bit of a pickle to move because they're so heavy. But medium, don't always assume media mail, because it might be, with the way that they've done media mail anymore, that UPS ground is cheaper, and I'll put up which one I did, and I'll check and make sure, because I list them as media mail because it's the slowest way that they could possibly show up. So if I switch to UPS, then my customer's not going to be mad when they show up a week early. These kind of books do not always do well, but a lot of these manuals that are like how-to books from the 50s, sometimes there's a series, and I can't remember the name of it right off, that's like how to scavenge berries in the woods and how to build a grass hut and like survival skill kind of stuff series that does really, really well too. And like a lot of these how-to vintage books of like forgotten knowledge are like doing fairly well because people want to learn that stuff and don't trust YouTube. I always just look it up on YouTube. You could probably do a series on YouTube, just like reading, okay, here's how you do this thing that most people haven't even thought about. Here's like rebuild a rotary phone. That one probably wouldn't do as well. But you get the point. Like there's probably life hacks in there that were common knowledge 40 years ago and people just kind of forgot. And these are even older than that. But these series of books are worth comping. I think I comped these beforehand, but they were so cheap. I was like, they're cool. And inside of them were these Sackcrete manuals, like Sackcrete brochures, concrete bags brochures, that I was like, somebody's looking for those. Those are neat. So I listed them separately. So I'll make money on that $2 investment a couple of different ways. But cool books, manuals on how-tos from back in the day. Comp them. Don't just bring them home. Don't just buy them cheap, because a lot of those stuff won't do well, but there are some big money ones out there. This one was a medium money one, $40. I'll probably make $25. I think that's everything. I think that's the last item, and that one even sold today. So I got to get all this stuff listed. If you've made it this far in the video, click the like button. Make sure that you're subscribed. A lot of people are watching and not subscribed, and leave a comment. I've thought some about doing a series like 25 best widgets, 25 top used VHS that you might find in a VHS pile, or somebody said, I buy a lot of rice cookers. One guy was like, you should do a list of rice cookers that are worth buying. If that, leave a comment, tell me up or down, yes or no. Do you think it would be good to do series like that as opposed to just what sold? I try to do thrift haul videos and you guys don't seem to watch those. So I do the what solds and you guys watch that all the time. And I like doing the thrift haul videos. Tell me whether or not you like the thrift haul videos. This seems to be the mainstay of the channel. These videos are the main part of the channel, but I might add like some more like what they call evergreen things that would be good no matter when you come back to it, because rice cookers aren't going to change for a year and a half. Good rice cookers are going to be good rice cookers, and good VHS tapes are probably still going to be pretty good VHS tapes, even if the comps aren't exactly the same. That kind of thing is, if that's something you're interested in, like, comment, and subscribe. That's what I'm trying to say. Thanks for your support. We're growing. We're finally, like years ago, I would get 2,000 1,500 views a video, and now I'm like barely scraping 300. I'm trying to build the channel back. It means a lot when you guys interact with the channel. It means a lot when you support. I don't feel like I say that enough, so I'm saying it now. Thanks, and we'll catch you on the next one.